Want some of the best metal interviews and tour dates possible? Check out our local sponsor, Death by Metal STL. Some of the most amazing interviews with some of the biggest metal bands in the industry. Check these guys out at www.deathbymetalstl.com. One of the best metal magazines in the industry, always supporting the independent artists and always pushing independent music. Remember, you heard it right here on The Pit. What is going on? It is currently storming its ass off out of nowhere outside. One moment, quiet, cool, calm, kind of gloomy outside. The next moment, that's all I heard. I was like, holy shitballs. I thought something fucking exploded. I guess the house up the street got hit by lightning or some shit. So, man, it's kind of a wet and rainy day. And I'm inside, totally comfy, hanging out with the studio cat, Reagan, which is a giant white fucking flat-faced cat who looks like Grumpy Cat. Reagan is a dick, but Reagan is good people. Sort of, because Reagan's a cat. But hey, we have a studio cat. It's pretty badass. Studio cat is like the shit. Like, for real. Anyway, Reagan and me were thinking, man, we should play some more brutal shit today. I mean, I'm not sure what Reagan was thinking. I'm just going to assume, since Reagan loves metal. Like, literally, this cat falls asleep next to the speakers and shit. Loving this shit. It's awesome. That just tells you the cat's either deaf or loves metal, one of the two. I can't figure it out. I wouldn't be able to tell you, but at least I fucking know the cat's awesome. So, man, it's been a fucking crazy week. I've had some crazy drivers try to kill me. I had a guy at fucking Quick Trip threaten me with a fucking knife the size of like fucking nail clippers. And stupid bullshit and drama. But you know what? Overall, it's been a pretty good week. Because I don't got cancer, I don't got herpes or AIDS, and I'm not dead. So far, so good. Oh, and I have all my arms and legs and fingers and toes, so that's pretty good too. You know, most of my teeth, other than a few wisdom teeth, but you know how we roll. Just saying. So, I'm just fucking going through all my archives, and I didn't really have a whole set list picked out. I just kind of been going as I feel it out today. So if you guys want to throw out some requests later on, just let me know. Oh, and also, don't forget, 420 is our special time. And I will definitely bring up our special song at that special time. So let's dive back into some more music. I was actually, before we get into music, I wanted to touch on something kind of that we were talking about earlier about greedy motherfuckers in the industry, like Ozzy, when we were talking about the feuding between him and Bill. I was actually looking into some of the bands that are greedy cocksuckers, like how much they make a tour. And I actually found out some pretty staggeringly huge numbers from some of these bands that are complete dicks. And I've actually played with a number of these bands on this list. But, man, I was really fucking shocked at how much these guys are actually making. These are the current box score reports. They kind of provide a general idea of the earning power of each of these bands, especially the ones that are relative to one another. It's kind of a way for the people who handle these bands to keep track of what they make and how much they make and how fast they make it during their tours. So here's just a few highlights of these are just shows. Okay, just shows and what they're actually making as far as selling tickets for these shows. Okay, this isn't directly like what they make the whole tour. This is just by the show. We're going to start with AC/DC, who I fucking hate, but we're going to start with them anyway. We'll use Atlanta, Georgia, the Phillips Arena, which has been used as an example on MetalSucks.net if you haven't read these reports. Let's say September 1st, 2016, gross sales were $1,169,355. The attendance capacity was 11,000 to 13,000. Okay, ticket sales were at that time $125 for primo seat, $75 for nosebleed. What the fuck? Fuck you, AC/DC. Fuck you. On to the next asshole band. And I'm sorry to say this, but Black Sabbath and Rival Sons. Venue, Las Vegas. This was at the Grand Garden, okay? The MGM Grand Garden, okay? The date was for September 17th, 2016, all right? The gross sales for this show were a little over $1 million. It was $1,025,145. The attended capacity is similar to the last location, about 10 to 11,000. Ticket prices were as high as $179 and as low as $49, nosebleed seats. Holy shit balls, guys. Quit being so fucking greedy. Fuck. Then, we have two more bands to use as examples. One of which is Bring Me the Horizon. Dude, why are they even on this list? For real. For real. Why the fuck are they on this list? You know that we don't play Bring Me the Horizon here. We don't do that. We also don't play Blood on the Dance Floor either. So don't fucking ask. So, these guys, this was for Sydney, Australia at the Horton Pavilion. The date was for September 17th as well, 2016. Gross sales for them were almost $600,000, were $581,549. Attendance capacity is between 9,500 to 10,000. Ticket sales for this were almost $70, or $67.44 after tax. So, when people try to tell us people in metal aren't making money, shut the fuck up. Let's go on to Rob Zombie, Korn, and In This Moment that all played one show together, okay? Now, Korn has actually made way bigger amounts of money for playing shows. As a matter of fact, one of the most expensive shows I ever heard Korn booked was for an amphitheater, and the deal was supposedly for their hour and a half to 2 hours of them playing music. And then they were going to charge that arena somewhere between $120,000 to $250,000 just for playing that little bit amount of a set. Now, granted, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a good amount of time, but out of all the music they have, that is pretty much nothing. So, these guys are making money hand over fist. Now, explain to me why people like Jonathan Davis's piece of shit ass can take all this money from these different venues, and it doesn't matter. Fuck all the little guys. Like, why are people like him making money, and real metal musicians of today who are relevant still are not? Now, I know that there are a lot of Korn fans out there still. I've never really been a Korn fan. I liked the first album. The self-title was really a good album. After that, I just didn't like the direction they went, and I never really got into them. I was more into Slayer and Morbid Angel and Napalm Death at the time. Those and Fear Factory was a huge band I was actually in at the time that Korn came out. So I didn't really give my focus to a lot of those bands that were making money. Static X was another band that made a lot of money, but those were good people, but they got paid well for what they did. So back to this list real quick. I'm going to wrap this up. This last show on the list is it is the cheapest, but it does kind of show you how many people actually are making money. You got Rob Zombie, Korn, and In This Moment, another band I don't really play on our show. This was for Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. This was July 30th, 2016. Gross sales for this were $406,000. Okay, attendance capacity was about